thing I want to get to, Roxy. I want to talk to you guys about this Jenna Ortega story because when the Melissa Barrera stuff was going on, then right around the same time, Jenna Ortega left Scream 7. Everyone's like, oh, she left because of Melissa. And then there's reports like, no, she didn't. She left because of her scheduling. And they're like, no, she left because of Melissa. Nobody knew. Nobody knew why. Well, she clears it up and tells you exactly why. Ortega commented on the Scream 7 exit and also talked on the Abrams project. Hot off of her success with Beetlejuice late last year, Jenna Ortega returned to cinemas with A24's Death of a Unicorn and will shortly be seen in the weekend's thriller Hurry Up Tomorrow. The actress is one of the most in demand out there right now with multiple projects on the way, more in the works, along with a second season of Wednesday having already been shot and dropping on streaming giant Netflix sometime later this year. One film you won't be seeing her, though, is Scream 7. After appearing in the 5th and 6th installments, the actress opted out of returning at a time when the project seemed to be falling apart over at Spyglass. There was a new interview with The Cut. Jenna Ortega confirms her exit, and she said it had nothing to do with pay or scheduling around her Wednesday commitments, as trade reports originally suggested. Rather, Ortega was well aware that the project was collapsing in real time. From the exit of directors Tyler Gillette and Matt Bettolini-Alpin to the firing of her on-screen sister, Melissa Barrera, over a tweet. The Melissa stuff was happening, and it was all kind of falling apart. If Scream 7 wasn't going to be with that team of directors and those people I fell in love with, then it didn't seem like the right move for me in my career at that time. In the same interview, Ortega confirmed she does have a role alongside Glenn Powell, Emma Mackey, and Samuel L. Jackson in the J.J. Abrams untitled upcoming film at Warner Brothers Pictures. She calls it an original J.J. script with some fantasy elements. Shooting on that will begin shortly in London. Finally, she also reflected on some past interview comments where she got in hot water out over, namely, that she sometimes changed the scripts Wednesday because they didn't seem to make sense to the character. People took umbrage with that, saying it was disrespectful of the writer. She says she's now learned from the experience. I used my words really poorly. All I had to do was say, improvised. You live and you learn. I don't want to. I'm just going to say this. This is all I want to say because I don't want to keep rehashing it. This is how you do interviews. This is how you do interviews. This is how you say, look, yeah, I said that thing, and oops, I said the wrong thing. What I should have said was this, and I didn't want to have respect for it. And she's right. She says improvise. Nobody bats an eye at it. It was a good interview. The other thing that she did very well was, and this is what a lot of these clickbait headlines have already said, Jenna Ortega says she left because of the Melissa Barrera situation. It's not what she said. What she said was, it was the Melissa situation. It was the fact that the directors, it was the fact that the team that she was used to, that she was working with, and this team she fell in love with would no longer be there. That included Melissa Barrera, that included the directors, that included everyone else too. And she saw it falling apart, and she didn't want to be part of it. I thought the answer was classy. I thought the answer was done well. And I thought it was, and I honestly think it was a smart move for her. She didn't need to be in those movies. So what do you make of these comments?
Yeah, that somebody picked up some media training.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, Jenna Ortega told us in an interview once that she shot Wednesday while she had COVID. Do you remember that? And everybody was like, why did you just admit? Nobody even asked you. Why'd you say it? Right. Why'd you tell everybody that? Just like what you just read about her, what people used to say, she slammed the writers. She said some things that she's young and she was newer, and she said some things that didn't phrase things poorly. Here, I think that a lot of people have been wondering what her political views are, considering she left after the Melissa situation. And what she said to you guys was, I love the team I worked with. That wasn't the team anymore. And so I didn't want to be part of it anymore, which is the much more simple and elegant answer as opposed to whatever thing she could have said that might have gotten her in trouble. So I think she's
great answer. It's like, because they're fishing for a political answer there. They're fishing for her to say something like that again so they can blow up. You know, she didn't say that. She said, my team's not there anymore. I didn't want to be part of it.
Yeah.
How do you judge that?
And then in terms of her career, I agree with you. I think that no part of her needs to be in the next Scream movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a massive star,
Yeah.
and she's not hurting for projects.
She doesn't need to be in it. She doesn't need to be in it. And honestly, it probably looks like it's going in a better direction right now anyway. They're bringing back Nev Campbell, and they're going in a different direction with it. It is so funny though, where the internet is so predictable, right? Like when all that stuff was going down, and then they brought in Nev Campbell, everyone's like, I'm never going to see a Scream movie ever again now because of this. By the time the movie comes out, no one's going to give a shit. People still bring it up in press, and it'll still be brought up in articles and things like that too. It will not hurt this movie at all. If the trailer is good and Nev Campbell's back and Matthew Lillard's coming back now,
I agree.
It's going to be rushed.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Mel in the chat said she did leave before the directors left. That is not true necessarily.
It's not necessarily true.
She left before she left before we knew that the directors
that's exactly right.
But she's in the know and in the loop. So
you nailed it. That's what happens. Is that like, hey, it's not been announced yet. They're leaving too. They're taking off, or they could be in communication.
Texting each other.
We're leaving the project soon. It hasn't been announced. All right, screw it. Then I'm out too, and that's it. You don't think she knew that they were leaving? Of course she did.
Before we did, we were the last to know.
Of course. That's how it works. You found out about it afterwards, but that's not how it works. It's perfect. And Roxy's going to talk about it. Like the studio is a perfect example. That they cover that type of stuff of how.
Oh my God, man, I love it so much.
But I mean, again, like I always say, I mean that's a controversial subject in general. But hey, I liked what she said. What do you guys think about the comments that Jenna Ortega made? Do you think that they were good? Do you think that no, it was too safe? She should have dug her heels in a little deep and talked about it a little more. What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know your opinions.